Okay, dear students, good evening. How are you? Now, yesterday we have left the topic of the economy under Delhi Sultanate. Today we have to cover the economy of Mughal period and society, the medieval society. So that is our end point today. But my friends, I just want to get some information from you. Today we have seen the study material on medieval society. Have you received it? Have you downloaded it? Please give me the information. Be fast. Be fast, my friends. Please inform me.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Good. Now let us start with the 5 questions. Question number first. You are brilliant enough to answer the question. Be mentally alert and solve the questions. आप लोग इस प्रश्न को सॉल्व करिए, आप लोग बड़ी आसानी से सॉल्व कर लेते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर फर्स्ट. Consider the following statements about Jagir and Ikta system. Jagir means the same mansab. Mansab or Jagir, both are the same. Point 1. Muktis were responsible for administration in allocated regions, while Jagirdar was only responsible for revenue collection from the Jagir. मतलब कहा गया है कि मुक्ति है वो अपने इक्ता में प्रशासन के लिए भी उत्तरदायी, लेकिन जागीरदार केवल रेवेन्यू कलेक्शन के लिए. 2. Muktis had to send Fawazil to the central treasury, but जागीरदार didn't. जो मुक्तिज है वो केंद्रीय खजाने में भेजते थे फवाजिल, लेकिन जागीरदार नहीं. 3rd, इक्ता सिस्टम वॉज हेरिडिटरी बट द एलोकेशन ऑफ जागीर वॉज फॉर ए टेम्पररी पीरियड. ये एक हेरिडिटरी है लेकिन वह जागीरदार एक टेम्पररी पीरियड के लिए है. अब आपके पास चॉइस है. Choice A 2 only, choice B 1 and 2 only, choice C 2 and 3 only, and choice D all 1, 2 and 3.
Maximum B, Bombay.
Choice number B is Bombay. Yes, correct. Quite commendable. मुझे डर था कहीं आप पॉइंट नंबर 3rd को सिलेक्ट ना कर लो, लेकिन you have just shown your rationality and sagacity and not to select this point. Very good. Question number 2. Which of the following administrative units were existing during Mughal period? मतलब इसमें से कौन सी एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव यूनिट्स हैं जो मुगल पीरियड में एग्जिस्ट कर रहे थे? सिख, परगना एंड सूबा. चॉइस ए 1 and 2, choice B 2 and 3, choice C 1 and 3, and choice D all 1, 2 and 3. Be fast.
B, Bombay.
Choice B, and Pargana and Suba. Yes, this is wrong. This is correct answer. Very good. Question number 3rd. Which of the following technologies were prevalent during the Sultanate period? Point 1, gear system. Point 2, distillation method. Point 3, book binding. A 2 only, B 1 and 2 only, C 2 and 3 only, and D all 1, 2 and 3. Be fast.
D.
Choice number D is the answer. Yes, 1, 2 and 3. Good. Question number 4. Which of the following were copper coins of Sultanate period? इसमें copper coins कौन है Sultanate period का? Point 1 टंका, point 2 जीतल, point 3 डाम and point 4 dirham. Choose the correct code. Choice A 1, 2 and 3 only, choice B 1, 2, 3 and 4, choice C 2 and 3, and choice D 2, 3 and 4. Be fast.
D.
Choice number D. Yes, good. Question number 5. Jagir, which was बड़ा स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन है, 4 के 4 आप लोगों ने सॉल्व किया. वी हैव सॉल्व 4 out of 4 एंड क्वेश्चंस आर द स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन. इफ यू आर गोइंग टू सॉल्व द फिफ्थ, सो आई विल बी ओवरवेल्म्ड विद जॉय. क्वेश्चन नंबर 5 यू आर गोइंग टू सॉल्व. Jagir, which was given to a Mansabdar, represented which of the following? Choice A, total revenue assessment of a region. Choice B, land revenue assessment of a region. Choice C, agrarian production of a region. And choice D, custom and octroi duty of a region.
Maximum A.
Good. Total revenue assessment. You have done fairly well. 5 to 5 questions out of 5 to 5 standard question you have solved. अब तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि शायद मैं आपसे प्रीलिम्स के मल्टीपल चॉइस क्वेश्चन, एमसीक्यू क्वेश्चंस पूछना ही छोड़ दूं क्या, क्योंकि अब आपको सवाल पूछने की जरूरत नहीं रह गई. यू हैव डन एंड यू हैव डन फेयरली वेल. मोस्ट कमेंडेबल टुडे, क्योंकि ये 5 के 5 क्वेश्चंस काफी स्टैंडर्ड थे. सो माय स्टूडेंट्स, अब दिल्ली सल्तनत इकोनॉमी आई हैव कवर्ड yesterday. So today, first of all, let us cover the Mughal period, and after that I have given you some assignment of a question study. So after doing society part, then if I will have the time today, I will deal with the question as well. So let us start from the Mughal economy, you know. Yesterday I have promised you about Persian wheel. What is Persian wheel? This is Persian wheel. My friends, just observe here, Persian wheel. And that is in the wheel and container. Ox bar was there and ox is moving in horizontal manner. So that is the use of Persian wheel. मैंने Persian wheel में देखो ये बैल जुता हुआ है और बैल इसको ऐसे इसको खींचता है चारों ओर से, और बैल जैसे जैसे घूमता है ये पूरा चक्र घूमता है. इसमें बेसिकली देयर वाज अ वर्टिकल व्हील, horizontal wheel, and that is linked to vertical wheel. Here you can see, here you find here. That is horizontal wheel that will move, and then vertical will move, and the ox will move, and this whole pattern had to move. That is Persian wheel.
सर कुछ बच्चे क्वेश्चन नंबर 4 के लिए कर रहे हैं.
क्वेश्चन 4 के लिए बोल रहे हैं, क्या बोल रहे हैं? गलत है.
यस सर, प्लीज रीचेक.
यस, चलो चेक कर लेता हूं. क्वेश्चन 4 ठीक तो है. टंका देखो सिल्वर है, यही है ना 4. टंका सिल्वर है. आपसे कॉपर पूछ रहा है, ये कॉपर है. मैंने कल आपको बताया था 1 टंका 48 जित्तल. फिर दांग एंड दिरहम का मान नहीं बताया, लेकिन मैंने बताया था टंका वॉज सिल्वर क्वाइन, जीतल वॉज कॉपर क्वाइन, दाम दैट इज ऑल्सो कॉपर, and even dirham that was copper, and you have selected choice number 2, 3, 4, so you are correct. So I have shown you Persian wheel. देखा मिस्टर अंकुर, स्टूडेंट लोग?
यस
क्लियर हुआ Persian wheel?
यस.
अब now observe here, Mughal economy, agriculture, development of agriculture loans तक अभी. अब मुगल को पहले मैं एग्रीकल्चर लिटरेचर में ही समझाता जाता हूं. देखो, during the Mughal period, India held its place as one of the most populous regions in the world. The extensive geographical expanse of India resulted in diverse soil compositions and environmental conditions throughout different regions. In contrast to Europe, India possessed fertile soil, enabling the cultivation of 2 crops, and in certain areas, possibility of harvesting a 3rd crop during the intermediary periods between regular seasons. My friends, India is having a very different examples. If you are just going to compare India with Europe, you will come to realize that कि in comparison to Europe, the Indian soil condition and Indian fertility of Indian soil is quite good and commendable. Very good and very fertile soil India was having at that time.
सर बच्चे कह रहे कि डैंग होगा डैम की जगह, डैंग होगा डैम की जगह।
Oh, sorry. Yes, you are right. That is the dam. Dam was mistakenly they have placed the dam. Here sune dang. Yes, you are correct. Mistakenly, actually, my eye could not fall over this dam. I have not shown कि भाई this dam is the Mughal currency. पता नहीं आज कैसे हो गया, मैं correction भी नहीं लगा. ये dang होगा, dam नहीं. Dam is the Mughal currency. In Mughal economy, silver was the dang was the silver coin. But as you are not having any choice like 2 and 4, so you should have taken here 2, 3 and 4. मतलब तो आपको समझ लेना चाहिए था कि डैंग ही रहा होगा, लेकिन तब है कि आपका ऑब्जेक्शन बिल्कुल सही है, दाम वहां नहीं होना चाहिए था. इट हैज क्रिएटेड अ लॉट ऑफ कंफ्यूजन फॉर योर पीपल मिस्टेकनली. सो दैट्स व्हाई यू कैन से कि हियर द you should be given the benefit of doubt. if there could have been dang, you might have selected 2, 3 and 4. और आपने जरूर कर लिया होता, क्योंकि dang अभी आप पकड़ रहे हो, तो इसका मतलब है कि आपको पता था. गुड. अब सो दिस इज द पॉइंट. हार्वेस्टिंग अ थर्ड क्रॉप ड्यूरिंग द, मतलब 2 फसल तो इंडिया में होती थी. यूरोप में 2 फसल नहीं होती थी. इंडिया में 2 क्रॉप्स नहीं होता था. इंडिया में एक ही क्रॉप्स एक साल में होता था, और यूरोप में एंड इंडिया में 2 क्रॉप्स तो होते ही थे, और बीच के इंटरवेनिंग पीरियड में कई बार तीसरा क्रॉप्स भी ले लेते थे इंडियंस. एग्रीकल्चर प्लेड अ पाइवटल रोल इन द इकोनॉमी सर्विंग. अब यहां पर मैं आपको इतना क्या बताऊं, एक्चुअली द स्टेट वाज गिविंग सपोर्ट टू एग्रीकल्चर, यू माइट हैव फाउंड हियर, एंड that is not much important like Delhi Saltanat, you can say. You will come to know कि actually agriculture was the very developed under Mughal period, you will come to know. And state was the one specific difference between Delhi Sultanate and Mughal. You find कि during the Sultanate period, simply Muhammad bin Tughlaq tried to give support to agriculture, and Muhammad bin Tughlaq tried to increase the production of agriculture. Otherwise, other sultans tried to increase their state income through increasing the revenue. But Muhammad bin Tughlaq was the first sultan of Delhi who tried to promote production and to augment the state income through augmenting production. मतलब मोहम्मद बिन तुगलक एक ऐसा सुल्तान था जिसने कृषि उत्पादन में विकास करके और फिर राजस्व में विकास करना चाहा, रेवेन्यू में. तो वो अपने आप में एक इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड ड्यूरिंग मुगल पीरियड इट बिकेम अ कॉमन फीचर, अ कॉमन फीचर. तो मैं यहां पर आपको बताना चाहूंगा मुगल पीरियड में जस्ट ऑब्जर्व हियर एग्रेरियन इकोनॉमी. एग्रेरियन इकोनॉमी या एग्रीकल्चर. अब वन इंसेंटिव हियर इन एग्रीकल्चर, यू विल कम टू नो वन इंसेंटिव. One incentive is here. Observe the one incentive. That is a state support to agriculture. State support to agriculture. अब you can ask me the question कि how did a state give support to agriculture? So a state used to give support to agriculture through giving advance loan to peasants. Advance loans to peasants. This advanced loan was known as Takavi loan or Sondhar. Takavi loan or Sondhar. My students, I am testing your memory. Although you are intelligent enough to answer my question, I am confident, but still I am just, you can say, throwing a net. If someone is going to ask you who was the first ruler in medieval history, who was the first ruler that introduced this Takavi loan or Sondhar, or that started the advanced loan to peasants? If someone is going to ask you the question, what is your answer? So please be fast and just do the typing. क्या आपसे पूछा जाएगा भाई कौन पहला शासक था मध्य मेडिवल एज में जिसने तकावी लोन या सोंधर को इशू किया? जस्ट बी फास्ट. मोहम्मद बिन तुगलक. ये पीपल इंटेलिजेंट एनफ. मेरा विश्वास है कि तुम लोग हिस्ट्री में बहुत बढ़िया करो. हिस्ट्री में क्या, बाकी सब्जेक्ट्स में भी. आई एम कॉन्फिडेंट. Muhammad bin Tughlaq, you are still recalling. Muhammad bin Tughlaq started this, but Mughals maintained it. And at the time of Akbar ensured कि Amal Gujar is an officer at the level of Sarkar, revenue officer, I have told you. So Amal Gujar was declared to be the friend of peasants. Amal Gujar was the friend of peasants. Amal Gujar peasants का friend था, माना जाता था, किसानों का मित्र. और वह उसका काम था एग्रीकल्चर के डेवलपमेंट के लिए काम करना. सेकेंड वन था कि द स्टेट वॉज एक्टिवली वर्किंग फॉर डेवलपिंग द बैरन लैंड. माने राज्य बंजर भूमि के विकास के लिए भी काम करता था. एट द टाइम ऑफ औरंगजेब देयर इज सम रॉयल फरमान, रॉयल ऑर्डर टू एड्रेसिंग एन ऑफिसर. हिज नेम वाज रसिक दास. And this Rasik Das was told to develop the barren land. मतलब राज्य barren land या बंजर भूमि के विकास के लिए भी काम करता था. तो स्टेट लोन देता था, स्टेट बंजर भूमि के विकास के लिए काम करता था. स्टेट was developing reservoirs and tanks for irrigation. And if someone is going to ask you कि who was the Mughal emperor that built a canal? So you will just reply Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan built a canal. And what was the name of the canal of Shah Jahan? Do you know? Shah-e-Faj. The name of the canal was Shah-e-Faj. So in this way, and at that time you can say during Mughal period, second one is multiplicity of crops. Multiplicity of crops. Up you can say that there was the multiplicity of crops. Here you come to realize what Abul Fazl says. Abul Fazl says that state was working for the expansion of agriculture even through Madad-e-Mas. Madad-e-Mas means it was just like the land grants. Madad-e-Mas मतलब it was a land grant, and land grant was given to a landlord, and landlord worked for the Muslim landlord in Gangetic Basin, and he was working for the development of agriculture. So Madad-e-Mas was also a means. Then multiplicity of crops. The Abul Fazl had talks about how many crops? From 17 to 21 and 19 to 21. Mane Rabi crops and Kharif crops. 17 to 21 and 19 to 21. So this was Abul Fazl gives a long list of crops. अब देखो यूरोपियन जो कंपनीज आए वो नए नए क्रॉप्स को इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहे थे. फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम टोबैको एंड मेज, तंबाकू और मक्का, टोबैको एंड मेज वर इंट्रोड्यूस्ड इन द अर्ली 17th century. They were brought from New World. New World means America. Then up to 18th century, red chili, potatoes, cashew nuts, just like the you can say horticulture, cashew nut, potato, red chili, and then tomato. So these were the new crops. Then you can say with the support in association with the European companies, even horticulture was further encouraged. The production of papaya, papita, production of cashew nuts. प्रोडक्शन ऑफ कैस्यू नट्स, प्रोडक्शन ऑफ पापाया, ये अबुल फजल, and then you can say tobacco and maize in 17th century, early 17th century. Then after tobacco and maize, then you will come to realize red chili, 18th century, in 18th century red chili, potato, cashew nuts in 17th century itself, and then papaya, etc. That was the horticulture, you know. तो डिफरेंट टाइप्स के क्रॉप्स यूरोपियन कंपनीज की कॉन्टैक्ट से आए। तो यही है आपके। अच्छा हाँ, अब एक चीज और भी मुगल टाइम में है जिस कारण से हॉर्टिकल्चर डेवलप हुआ। एक आपको मिलेगा ग्राफ्टिंग टेक्नोलॉजी। ग्राफ्टिंग इन हिंदी दैट इज कॉल्ड कलम लगाने की पद्धति। मीन्स की द वन ब्रांच ऑफ ए ट्री, सेकेंड ब्रांच ऑफ ट्री आर joined together and that will left for some months. So a different variety of fruit just develops through this grafting. So that is called grafting. In Hindi that is called kalam lagane ki paddhati. So that started under Mughals. So Mughals could develop horticulture in such a larger quantity. तो ये आपका मुगल का है। अब craft and technology you can say कि during the Mughal period the thriving commerce and trade industry promoted the growth of craft production. Crafted goods were primarily consumed within the domestic market, but in the 17th century, Indian handicrafts industries captured a substantial foreign market as well. मतलब handicrafts were very developed under Mughals, you know, largely due to the influence of European trading companies. Because actually देखो, a major boost to Indian economy under Mughals was what? A major boost to Indian economy under Mughals was European companies. They were giving support to, you can say, international trade. So in fact, it was the European companies during Mughal period, although Portuguese came much earlier. But British and Dutch and French, they played the very significant role. So British, French and Dutch, they created, Dutch created a very, you can say, a strong export market for India in Southeast Asia, and British and French created a, you know, a strong trade market in Europe. So in this way you can say कि India was having the very strong export market at that time. माने इंडिया के पास एक बहुत बड़ा निर्यात बाजार था जो यूरोप में अवेटेड था। तो these companies brought about revolutionary changes in business practices while the Portuguese company focused on spice trade. Portuguese company spice trade पर फोकस था। British and Dutch companies greatly interested the textile industry in India. माने greatly interested in textile industries in India. British and Dutch. Cotton textiles in particularly experienced a very significant boost. अगर आपसे यह पूछा जाए कि 17th century में इंडिया से यूरोप सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट आइटम, एक्सपोर्टेबल आइटम क्या था, तो यू विल जस्ट इन्फॉर्म टेक्सटाइल वॉज द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट आइटम।
जी निधि कह रहे हैं कि आपका इजराइल पर वीडियो बहुत ही अच्छा था।
ओके माय स्टूडेंट्स, अब मैं एक रिजर्वेशन पर भी बहुत जल्दी मिलूंगा आपसे। तो दैट इज इन्फॉर्म यू कि they found a large market in the west. Gujarat and Bengal emerged as important centers for cotton textiles in North India, you know, while Devgiri and Warangal were renowned in South India for the cotton textile industry. मतलब कुछ एरियाज के बारे में अभी देखो ये फैक्ट्स है, थोड़ा सा इसी से देख लेना, काफी मैंने डाल दिया है। देखो जैसे गुजरात एंड बंगाल, they were the important center for cotton production, you know, important center. While Devgiri and Warangal, that was in South India, in Andhra, you can say in Maharashtra. So they were the important centers of cotton textiles. Diversity of cotton textiles products during this period can be traced from the mention of 5 cotton textile production centers. While Hamida Naqvi has talked about, that is a scholar Hamida Naqvi, she has talked about 49 center of cotton production. मतलब कुल मिला के मल्टी कॉटन प्रोडक्शन में हम लोग बहुत ज्यादा डेवलप थे। प्रिंटिंग एंड डाइंग। अब देखो एक इंडस्ट्री था प्रिंटिंग एंड डाइंग, जैसे कॉटन पर प्रिंट किया जाता था और उस पर चित्र बनाया जाता था, जिसको छीट बोलते हो, डाइंग से छीट बनाया जाता था। छीट, छीट अपने क्लॉथ का एक, यू माइट हैव हर्ड अबाउट अ टर्म दैट इज कॉल्ड छीट। So that is possible through printing. And woolen cloths, that was also silk cloths. Moreover, silk cloths and woolen cloths were produced abundantly this period. कश्मीर was renowned for a center of silk cloth. अब इस सबको आप अंडरलाइन करें ना, जैसे कश्मीर है सिल्क क्लॉथ का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट सेंटर है, बनारस इंपॉर्टेंट सेंटर है, हब ऑफ सिल्क क्लॉथ प्रोडक्शन, and most significant center of silk production was Bengal. Bengal was a very important center for production where Malwari silk had been produced since 15th century. Because it was from Delhi Sultanate onwards, you can say, in 15th century, that was Malwari silk, so it was very important silk cloth, you know. कारपेट वेविंग टेक्नोलॉजी, कारपेट वेविंग जिसको कहते हो कालीन बनाना, वो मुगलों के समय बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट टेक्नोलॉजी था। और किसने डेवलप किया था, किसके टाइम में पता है? अकबर। अकबर इंट्रोड्यूस द कारपेट वीविंग ऑन पर्सियन मॉडल। पर्सियन मॉडल, अकबर दिस बोरोड दिस मेथड ऑफ कार्पियन, यू कैन से कारपेट मेकिंग, एंड ही इंट्रोड्यूस द कारपेट मेकिंग एट लाहौर एंड फतेहपुर सीकरी। In North India, Lahore and Fatehpur Sikri were very important center for carpet weaving. Or here you can see Lahore, Agra and Fatehpur Sikri. Lahore, Agra and Fatehpur Sikri were the important center for carpet weaving. Additionally, carpet weaving also commenced to Delhi. Delhi में भी carpet weaving होती थी. Mirzapur was also a center. Warangal in South India and Masulipatam. These were the important center for carpet weaving. अब देखो बाबर ने सबसे पहले फायर आर्म्स इंडिया में, जैसे अब कैनन्स को बाबर ने इंट्रोड्यूस किया था, फायर आर्म्स नहीं, दैट इज कॉल्ड कैनन्स। बाबर इंट्रोड्यूस्ड कैनन्स फॉर द फर्स्ट टाइम इन इंडिया, इंक्लूडिंग मस्केट गन्स. Interaction with Europeans enabled Mughal technocrats to familiarize themselves with methods such as the wheel lock एंड फ्लिंट लॉक. जैसे पहले क्या होता था, मैं इसको ऐसे लेमैन में समझा दूं कि पहले जो मुगल आर्टिलरी बनती थी अकबर से पहले, तो अकबर से पहले जो मुगल आर्टिलरी होती थी उसमें बेसिकली वे जो अकबर यूज करता था, उस किस सिस्टम का करता था उसको बोलते हैं अकबर से पहले, दैट इज कॉल्ड यू नो मैच लॉक तकनीकी. मैच लॉक में क्या होता था कि जैसे तोप में गोला डाल दिया और एक पलीता लगा दिया, यहां आग लगा दी, तो धीरे धीरे फायर वाज गोइंग टू कैच अप एंड देन देयर वुड बी ब्लास्ट फ्रॉम द कैनन. मतलब इन कैनन यू कैन से कि दैट वाज कॉल्ड मैच लॉक टेक्नोलॉजी अर्लियर. मैच लॉक मीन्स कि यू आर जस्ट यू कैन lighting a fire, you are taking a long rope and one part of the rope was touching the, you can say, the gunpowder, and the second part of the rope you are just with a match stick you are just going to lit a fire. So gradually you can say this rope was catching the fire and lastly it is touching this gunpowder, and then gunpowder is blasting and there was the firing from the top. So this was a very old fashioned method. So Akbar just developed flint lock and match lock technique, you can say, and wheel lock. Wheel lock in the pistol and in gun, and flint lock in cannons. Cannons means कि अब now you are firing the cannons, so there was a trigger and trigger was going to lit the fire to this gunpowder. So now automatic firing started and it was the safest, you can say, method. So that was not going to. शेरशाह के टाइम में आपने देखा कि शेरशाह में एक ब्लास्ट हो गया और कैनन्स में ब्लास्ट हुआ तो शेरशाह डाइड ऑन द स्पॉट इन द कालिंजर एक्सपेडिशन, तो जब फ्लिंट लॉक टेक्नोलॉजी आ गई थोड़ी सेफ्टी हो गई कैनन्स का. सो दिस वाज द, एंड अकबर वाज हिमसेल्फ you can say a great technician. He gave an idea to build such a cart, bullock cart, which was apart from carrying the goods, it was grinding the grains as well. मैंने अकबर एक ऐसा इनोवेटिव माइंड का था, इसलिए इरफान हबीब ने अकबर की तुलना रसिया के एक रूलर पीटर द ग्रेट से की है. अकबर हैज बीन कंपेयर्ड विथ पीटर द ग्रेट बिकॉज अकबर डेवलप्ड सच ए कार्ट. मतलब अकबर ने एक ऐसी गाड़ी बनाई जो सामान ढोने के साथ साथ अनाज भी पीस सकती थी. And Akbar developed a gun when you are just touching the trigger, so there were 17 cartridges could have been fired simultaneously and very quickly. मतलब एक बार आप ट्रिगर दबाते तो 17 गोलियां छूटती थी. So this was the innovation by Akbar himself. He was himself, but other Mughal rulers were not having the same fascination for technology as you find in case of Akbar. So this was the pathetic under Mughals, you know. Similarly, the influence of Europeans led to the adoption of anchors. Anchors, here you can say, anchors means कि shipbuilding and practice of using iron anchors. वो एंकर्स बोलते हैं लंगर को. जैसे आप देखते हो ना, एक लोहे का होता है जिसमें जंजीर बनती है और वो जमीन में ठोक के शिप को बचाया जाता है, तो उसको बोलते हैं एंकर. सो आयरन एंकर ऑन यूरोपियन मॉडल, आयरन एंकर इन द शिप केम टू बी यूज. सो दैट इज द वन पॉइंट. इंडियंस ऑल्सो बिगेन यूटिलाइजिंग चेन पंप्स. चेन पंप्स मतलब पहले क्या होता था कि पहले जैसे एक्चुअली शिप जब चलता है तो actually automatically there would be some water within the ship. Gradually the water from, in spite of the much safety, some water is gathered in the ship. So earlier you can say it was basically it was the workers who were carrying the water and throwing the water from the ship. तो बड़ा long and arduous process था. But now up you can say chain pump was used. Chain pump means कि through the chain, not steam engine, through chain the pump was running and pump was drawing water from the ship and throwing it out. तो इस तरह से जब चेन पंप का इस्तेमाल हुआ तो काम ज्यादा आसान हो गया. Similarly to Europeans to remove water from ships. Therefore, it can be observed that scientific and technological advancement persisted during the Mughal period, although not as extensive as in Europe. Scientific progress flourished at the individual level. अब you can say कि gradually you can say the scientific development was going on under Mughal, but it was not as pervasive as you find in case of Europe. मतलब कुछ वैज्ञानिक तकनीकी विकास हो रहा था, परंतु ये इतना अधिक नहीं था जैसा हम मुगल पीरियड में, जैसा हम यूरोप में पाते हैं, समकालीन यूरोप में. अब कॉमर्स एंड ट्रेड, मतलब ट्रेड एंड कॉमर्स, यू कम टू नो कि द मुगल ट्रेड इन इंडिया फॉस्टर्ड कंडीशंस दैट इनकरेज बोथ इंटरनल एंड एक्सटर्नल ट्रेड. वेरी इंटरनल एक्सटर्नल ट्रेड, यू नो. Internal trade was stimulated by various factors. Firstly, the establishment of a powerful Mughal empire. There was the formation of a powerful Mughal empire, you know, which held control over important ports, played a significant role. Additionally, improvements in law and order during this period contributed to a favorable environment for trade. Law and order, better law and order situation, you know. The state placed a special emphasis on collecting land revenue in cash. अब देखो, अब मुगल पीरियड में स्टेट वाज गिविंग एम्फेसिस ओवर द कलेक्शन ऑफ रेवेन्यू इन कैश. सो इट लेड टू द मोनेटाइजेशन ऑफ इकोनॉमी. अब मोनेटाइजेशन ऑफ इकोनॉमी कैसे हो रहा है? तो अब स्टेट प्रेफर टू collect the revenue in cash. So peasants were selling their grains to the grain market in order to procure the cash to give to the state. So you can say just in every important village there developed a kasbah. There was some sort of kasbah, you can say. So there was the development of kasbah. From village to kasbah developed, and from kasbah to towns developed. So this process was going on. And as coins, you can say, as currency, shares are developed rupiah. Rupiah as silver currency. Who developed rupiah? Shershah. As silver currency, rupiah. And copper currency, dam. So dam is the Mughal currency, mistakenly in place of dang. Dam was placed there, so that created confusion for you people. Dam. Dam was the copper currency. Jama dam, I have told in Mansabdari, are you recalling? So this was. Contrary to the traditional belief that the Mughals originated from Central Asia, मतलब in Mughal period the trade was quite developed. Even the Mughal emperors were taking, अभी sum total आप पढ़ लेना, अब इतना मैं क्या बताऊं, कि in sum total Mughal emperors and Mughal princes were also taking interest in the trade, you can say. So several factors encouraged the trade at that time. अब Mughal emperor was running their own ship. अब can you believe that कि Mughal princes, Dara Shikoh, Aurangzeb, Jahan Ara Begum, all were maintaining their ship, and their ship were moving to Lal Sagar, Red Sea. and they were taking income from these activities. So that was beneficial for them. It was the case. And even the Mughal noble, for example, you can say Mir Jumla. So Mir Jumla was himself maintaining his own ship. Apart from that, European companies, Mughal maintained the better law and order situation. If someone is going to ask you one question, who was the Mughal ruler? Be mentally alert, because on Monday I can ask this question to you. Who was the Mughal ruler that passed a special order for the safety of merchandise goods of a merchant after his death? Who was the Mughal ruler that passed an order for safety of a merchandise goods after the death of a merchant? मतलब कौन सा ऐसा मुगल इंपेरर है जिसने ये आदेश जारी किया कि कोई व्यापारी मर जाए तो उसके जो बंडल है वो सुरक्षित रहे? That was Jahangir. Jahangir passed in 12 orders. So one of the order was that the Mughal maintained better law and order situation. Up at the time of Sher Shah, you can say Sher Shah and Mughal Empire, India was enjoying the best infrastructure facility in the world. My students, I am going to be surprised कि we are talking about the Amrit Kal, the achievement of ancient India. Our finance minister was just presenting budget, Nirmala Sitharaman. So she is giving a lot of reference to the ancient terms. But I hope that India, since the last 2 years, particularly after this COVID-19, India was spending or allocating a larger fund of this. In this budget, you can say 10 lakhs crore as capex, capital expenditure, for the building of roads and investing in India, roads, etc. Infrastructure. Infrastructure sector is the priority sector of the government here. But in the budget speech, never I find a reference to Sher Shah or Mughal emperor, who at that time maintained the largest, you can say, or the best infrastructure capability at that time. India was unparalleled in the world. अब Sher Shah built Grand Trunk Road, you know. This Grand Trunk Road just linked from Bengal, Sonargaon to Multan and up to river Indus. And at every 2 coasts, Sher Shah built a sarai, an inn. And there was the better facility for staying for Hindus and Muslims there, and there was even facility for the cook that was coming from both the communities, Hindu and Muslims, to entertain the guests from both the communities, you know. अब हर 2 कोस पर सराय, और this sarai was working as the डाक चौकी as well. So the Mughals maintained the very strong postal department at that time, you know. तो इतना बड़ा अचीवमेंट है, बट इस अचीवमेंट को हम लोग नहीं कबूल कर पाते हैं. Kabul and Kandahar, from where the trading activities were moving, you can go through here. Urbanization was supported under Mughals, 120 big towns and 3200 kasbas, you can say. And Mughal encouraged the urbanization as well. तो आप लोग चले जाना, इसे देख लेना, ये बहुत क्लियर है, इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होगा. अब we are moving to society. So we have to move to society, you can say. Let us start here, you know. Today possibly people not might have gone there. Medieval society. My students, अब you're coming to the medieval society, you know. So better to don't divide society between Hindu society and Muslim society, you should know. Don't divide it between Hindu and Muslim society. Here you can see when the Muslims and you can say Muslim invading army came to India, so India has presented a very strong exception. When the Muslim invaders came to the different parts of the world, so the Muslims went there as a minority group, but very soon they were transformed into a majority group. मतलब ब्रिटिश जहां भी गए वो एक माइनॉरिटी के रूप में गए, लेकिन माइनॉरिटी से वो बहुत क्विकली मेजोरिटी हो गए. एंड इट वाज पॉसिबल on the basis of the massive convergence from Hinduism from you can say towards Islam from any. When the Muslim power conquered Persia, so Persia was Islamized. Conquered Egypt, that was Islamized. But whenever they conquered India, in spite of the best efforts, they could not make such a massive conversion. If the Muslim community could have been converted, Muslim community could have reached up to the status of majority in India. So India was the single one exception where the Muslims came as a minority and remained there as a minority alone, not majority. Of India, that was after the advent of the Turks. So under Turks and Mughals, Indian society was horizontally divided. Horizontally divided, you know. Horizontally divided. In what way? Hindus and Muslims. So there was the horizontal division in society. Earlier there was the vertical division of Indian society, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaisya and Shudra. But during this period you can say that there was the horizontal division of society, Hindus and Muslims in parallel. But in spite of the horizontal division, my friends, there was the vertical division as well. Apart from horizontal division, there was vertical division as well. So here you will find Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaisyas and Shudras. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaisyas and Shudras. The Hindu society was divided among different entities, Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaisyas and Shudras. Now my friends, you may ask me the question ki how did this Muslim society influence the so-called Hindu society? In two ways. On the one hand, when Islam came to India, and Islam gave a very fascinating slogan of Muslim brotherhood, and Hindu society was sharply divided among different castes, and some people in Hindu society were at the lowest ladder and they were even thrown into the status of untouchables. So there was every fear that after the advent of Islam, the Hindu caste system would be threatened. क्योंकि देखो जब उन्होंने मुस्लिम बंधुता का नारा दिया तो कुछ जो हिंदू नेता थे उनको डर हुआ कि जो हमारे जो वन व्यवस्था के, जाति व्यवस्था के निचली सीढ़ी पर लोग हैं, जो अछूतों की श्रेणी में हैं और या जिनकी स्थिति नीची है या शूद्र भी हैं, तो कहीं ऐसा न हो कि समानता की लालच में इस्लाम कबूल करना शुरू करें। सो माय स्टूडेंट, देयर वर द टू टाइप्स ऑफ रिएक्शन, टू टाइप। वन टाइप ऑफ रिएक्शन वाज दैट कि सम स्मृति राइटर्स ऑफ इंडिया, they tried to make the caste system rigid further. They started to write the commentaries over the old Smriti text, and they tried to strengthen the caste division further on and to strengthen the Varna and caste boundaries so that the people from this region and this area should not move towards Islam. So this was the first reaction, but this reaction was definitely, you can say, very impractical reaction, unpragmatic reaction, क्योंकि आप लोगों को जबरन बांध के तो नहीं रख सकते। Second reaction was the reaction of निर्गुणा भक्ति, you can say, निर्गुणा भक्ति, Kabir, Nanak, etc. They tried to soften the caste, you can say, they tried to soften basically the poignancy of the caste, the bitterness of the caste, so that the people even within Hindu society should be comfortable enough not to defect to the side of Islam. मतलब दूसरी प्रतिक्रिया है निर्गुणा भक्ति का है, जो मैं आपको आगे बताऊंगा भक्तिज्म में, जिसमें कबीर, नानक या और भक्त सेंट्स होंगे। वो चाहेंगे कि हम भक्ति को, मतलब हम कास्ट सिस्टम को लोगों को सहने लायक बना दें ताकि लोग कंफर्टेबल हो जाएं, एंड एटलीस्ट दे शुड नॉट मेक अ डिफेक्शन टुवर्ड्स इस्लाम। सो देयर वर द टू टाइप्स ऑफ रिएक्शन। अब नाउ यू नो कि एट देयर द इस्लाम, सो राजपूत रूलर्स वर डिसग्रेस्ड इन वन सेंस की द invading Turkish rulers and even later Mughals, was particularly the Turkish rulers, so they defeated the Rajput kings, and Rajput kings were just compelled to move towards, countryside. So basically, in the ruling class, there was the new Muslim ruling class, So Brahmins, you can say earlier the three Varnas were just enjoying the Dvija status. Three Varnas: Brahmins, Kshatriyas and Vaisyas. But earlier the Brahmins, up to early medieval age, they excluded Vaisyas from the group of Dvijas or twice born. Then they even expelled Kshatriyas from the category of twice born and declared that now the single one Dvija is Brahmins. So Brahmins is the single in Dvija. मतलब मैं आपको बताना चाहता कि जैसे द्विज की कैटेगरी में पहले तीन आते थे, तीन वर्ण आप जानते हो, ब्राह्मण्स, क्षत्रियाज एंड वैश्याज। तो अर्ली मेडिवल एज तक जब वैश्य का जब स्थिति जब गिरी वैश्य का, तो ब्राह्मण्स थे, उन्होंने पहले वैश्य को द्विज के स्टेटस से निकाला और अब उन्होंने क्षत्रिय को भी द्विज के स्टेटस से निकाल दिया। अब क्षत्रिय भी द्विज के स्टेटस से बाहर हो गए, क्योंकि आफ्टर टर्किश इन्वेजन्स उनका पोजीशन वीक हुआ और वो कंट्री साइड में चले गए। तो अब उसके ब्राह्मण्स को ने उनके डिक्लाइनिंग पावर को देखते हुए उनको भी उन्होंने द्विज के स्टेटस से बाहर कर दिया। तो ये आपको वर्ना सिस्टम है। एंड व्हाट इज अबाउट वीमेन, तो कंडीशन ऑफ वीमेन वाज ऑलरेडी डिक्लाइनिंग बिकॉज ड्यू टू द फॉरेन इन्वेजन्स देयर पोजीशन वाज वीक नाउ। देयर वाज द एम्फेसिस अबाउट द टू सोशल एविल्स ड्यूरिंग दिस पीरियड। वन वाज द पर्दा सिस्टम, माने ओल्ड एग्जिस्टिंग लाइक सती सिस्टम, लाइक यू कैन से पोलीगेमी and child marriage, Devdasi system, they were already existing from earlier period, but now Parda system was encouraged further, Parda system, and second one you come to know as Johar system. Johar system was also, you can say, introduced, and women used to take self-immolation when their husband was going to the battlefield, so that they should not, if the Rajput rulers were on the point of losing, so queens and their attendants were taking the self-immolation so that they should not fall into the hand of the invaders. So this was the case here. Johar system. Now you have to observe here Muslim society. So this is the very ironical situation. Islam gave the slogan of the Muslim Brotherhood. So there was the promise of Islam, you can say, destroy the Indian caste system, and then you have to introduce a sense of equality among all. Because you will Islamize, you will just, you can say, Islamize Indian society as well. So there would be the equality in society. But my student, it is quite an ironical situation कि it was in India कि even Islam adopted the caste system in course of time along with Hinduism. So one scholar has rightly quipped कि don't try to compare Islam or South Asia. South Asia is mainly India, you know. Don't try to compare the Islam of South Asia with that of West Asia and Central Asia, because Islam in South Asia came in touch with Hinduism and Sufism. So in touch of Hinduism and Sufism, Islam in India transformed its character. So the character of Islam was transformed in India along with Hinduism and Sufism, and you can say Sufism, you know. तो यहां पर क्या है कि आर्टिफिशियल उन्होंने कास्ट सिस्टम डेवलप कर लिया. जो हाई कास्ट मुस्लिम्स थे, दे वर कॉल्ड असराफ हिंदू, शेख एंड कास्ट, that was called Ajlaf, and third is, you find here the term that is called Arjal. Do you know Arjal is Pasanda Muslim? Pasanda Muslim, even the Muslim category, there was a category of untouchables in Hindus. They adopted Islam in the hope that our position had to improve, but even under Islam they remain at the same status. So this was Arjal. अब इसको कहते हैं Pasanda Muslims, you know. So that's why, my students, recently you might have there is the legal battle now, because someone has given the petition and petition to Supreme Court, even the Christians, Indian Christians and Muslims should be given the status of the scheduled caste, because scheduled caste का status केवल हिंदुइज्म में है, इस्लाम में नहीं, क्रिश्चियनिटी में नहीं, पहले तो बुद्धिज्म में भी नहीं था, बाद में उसको एक्सटेंड कर दिए थे विश्वनाथ प्रताप सिंह के गवर्नमेंट ने. तो they are not enjoying the scheduled caste status, because basic identity of scheduled caste is the caste basis, caste division. So earlier theoretically it was supposed that under Islam and Buddhism there is not caste division, so there should not be such a caste in Islam and Christianity. But now it is being emphasized that no, artificially the caste system developed within Christianity and Islam in India. In India, whosoever community is living, so they developed a caste system. और तो छोड़िए, पारसी में कास्ट सिस्टम नहीं था, उसमें भी तो एक तरह का कास्ट वहीं गया, बॉटली वाला, दारू वाला, तो they were the different identities, you can say. So that is going to be, even Muslim society was divided. अजलाफ लोअर कास्ट, जैसे आप कहते हैं ना कार्डेट्स, धुनकी या कुछ जो लोअर कास्ट हिंदूज थे, जिसको आप बैकवर्ड हिंदूज बोलते हो, हिंदूज या मुस्लिम्स, तो उसमें उस तरह से उनमें ओबीसी कैटेगरी कह सकते हो इस्लाम के अंदर.
सर निखिल पूछ रहे हैं, व्हाई डिड वुमेन डिक्लाइन इन द होल मुगल पीरियड बट इन शेरशाह टाइम वुमेन कंडीशन बिल्ड?
नहीं, व्हाट, वंस अगेन,
व्हाई डिड वुमेन डिक्लाइन इन द होल मुगल पीरियड?
या
इन शेरशाह टाइम वुमेन कंडीशंस बिल्ड?
हु हैज आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन? निखिल, नो. Women's condition was not better even under Shershah, and in overall you can say Mughals, the condition of women declined. No, it was not the case. What is the case? I am making clear. Actually, Shershah was representing the Afghan tribal structure, and in tribal structure the condition of women is always better. Better, not better than male, but better than other females, you can say. So in tribal society, the women was given succession also. She was given the right to property. She was given the succession of property. अब शेरशाह का मैं एक उदाहरण बताता हूँ निखिल, कि शेरशाह ने जब जैसे शेरशाह का राइज का एक कारण था उसका अफगान सोशल स्ट्रक्चर, सतीश चंद्रा बोलते हैं क्योंकि वो क्या करता था कि कोई रिच जो अफगान विमेन का डेथ होता, सॉरी अफगान, किसी रिच अफगान का डेथ होता था तो उसके उस विडो से ही मैरिज कर लेता था, बिकॉज इन अफगान स्ट्रक्चर द succession was going from husband to wife first, then to son. First claimant was wife, so she was having the private property. For example, you can say Sher Shah himself assassinated Taj Khan, and then you know his wife of Taj Khan was Lad Malika. So Sher Shah married to Lad Malika. So Sher Shah came to own the fort of Chunar, as Lad Malika was the real owner of fort of Chunar now. So Sher Shah was doing this sort of machination at that time.
Sir,
ये क्या था?
Abhishek पूछा what is Hundis?
What is?
Hundis.
Hundis was just like a present draft system. Abhishek, present draft system. I am telling you. जैसे अब suppose you can say you are a merchant. Abhishek, be mentally alert. अब suppose you are a merchant. तो you have to make, you are in Delhi and you have to make a purchasing at Ahmedabad as a merchant. Ab you are a bit, you can say, scared you have to carry such a vast money to Ahmedabad. In the meantime, it might be looted, plundered on the route. So you are a bit worried. So you will go to a saraf. Saraf was, you can say, financer. And you are depositing money here and giving you can say you are depositing a specific amount of money to Saraf and giving him some commission. So Saraf will give you a hundi just like a check. You will move to Ahmedabad, and he was having the credit in Ahmedabad market, this Saraf. So you will purchase the goods and give the hundi. So hundi would be in caste. So that is hundi.
खुशबू कह रही कि सर एक बार अजलाफ और अर्जाल में डिफरेंस।
हाँ, अजलाफ का मतलब वो जैसे मिडिल कास्ट होता है ना, जैसे आप देखते हो ना, जैसे शूद्राज हुआ हिंदू में, तो उसके बाद अनटचेबल, उससे भी नीचे कैटेगरी हुए, तो अजलाफ हुआ है जो लोअर कास्ट है। अशराफ का मतलब जैसे हिंदू में ब्राह्मण क्षत्रिय हुए, तो ये सब अशराफ मान लीजिए उसी तरह से। उसके बाद जिसको तुम ओबीसी कैटेगरीज कहते हो उसको आप अजलाफ मान लीजिए, और जिसको अनटचेबल कैटेगरी कहते हो उसको अर्जाल मान लीजिए। इन दिस वे यू हैव टू मेक ए कैटेगराइजेशन। खुशबू
निखिल कह रहे सर शेर शाह वाज आल्सो इंट्रोड्यूस्ड डैम, रुपया एंड अशरफी।
अशरफी was basically just it was introduced by Akbar later.
अंकित कह रहे व्हाई मुस्लिम नॉट बिकम मेजॉरिटी इन इंडिया, दे बिकम मेजॉरिटी एवरीवेयर?
Because in India you can say the convergence. Who has asked this question? Ankit. Actually, in India, the Muslims could not carry such a massive convergence as you find in case of other parts of the world. क्योंकि आप कहोगे क्यों? In India, Hinduism was entrenched. अब here I have to inform you that Hinduism was having a long history, because Hinduism was a very, or you can say a very Indian culture was supposed to be the one of the earliest cultures in the world, you know, and Hinduism was less a religion, more as a culture. So whatever sects were originating in India, so Hinduism was just appropriating the sect within itself and swallowing it up. But Islam was a very different type of religion. Here the religion was first, then society, and then you can say polity. All were combined together. So Hinduism could not swallow up Islam, and even Islam could not destroy Hinduism because it was so strong and you can say entrenched in India. So that's why you can say that the Muslims could not make any massive scale conversion in India. So that's why here the Muslims could not become majority.
Okay, sir.
So society is over now, my students. अब yesterday I have given you some question. Yesterday वाला question कहाँ है, Mr. Ankur? Just 1 minute. Yes. In 2023, this was the question. My friends, here I have to discuss this aspect with you. अब दिस क्वेश्चन वाज इन 2003. What were the major technological changes introduced during the Sultanate period? How did these technological changes influence the Indian society? मतलब आपसे पूछा जा रहा है कि मेजर टेक्नोलॉजिकल चेंजेस सल्तनत पीरियड में क्या है. तो जस्ट मैं पहले स्टार्ट कर देता हूं, फिर मैं आपको बताता हूं. आप इसको ऐसे स्टार्ट करिए कि in India, the period of Delhi Sultanate was marked by technological innovation. At that time, Islamic world was undergoing a new intellectual fermentation so there was encouragement to innovation. मतलब देखो, ये सतीश चंद्रा कहते हैं कि उस समय इस्लामिक वर्ल्ड ऐसा इंटेलेक्चुअल फर्मेंटेशन से गुजर रहा था कि नए नए टेक्नोलॉजी को बढ़ावा दिया जा रहा था. 12th सेंचुरी के बाद ऐसा नहीं होगा. ऐसा मुगल पीरियड में आप नहीं देख पाओगे, लेकिन सल्तनत पीरियड में देखोगे. अब मैं स्टूडेंट्स आपको क्या करना है कि क्वेश्चन का बनेगा 2 पार्ट. यू हैव टू राइट द क्वेश्चन इन 2 पार्ट्स. इन द फर्स्ट पार्ट मैं स्टूडेंट्स अब पूरा मैं नहीं लिखवाता हूं, आपको बता देता हूं. फर्स्ट पार्ट में आप इसको बात दोगे. हाँ, चाहे इसको आप ऐसे कर दोगे फर्स्ट पार्ट में कि अंडर दिल्ली सल्तनत फॉलोइंग टेक्नोलॉजीज were introduced. और उसके बाद आप चरखा करघा मतलब स्पिनिंग व्हील एंड कार्डेट्स बो स्पिनिंग व्हील, देन weaver's loom, then silk making, distillation, जैसे वाइन मेकिंग, डिस्टिलेशन एटसेट्रा, देन पेपर, बुक बाइंडिंग, आर्क एंड डोम एटसेट्रा विल मेंशन अबाउट. हाँ, एंड पर्सियन व्हील कंपल्सरी. पर्सियन व्हील जो गिव सपोर्ट टू इरिगेशन. तो यू विल स्टार्ट विथ पर्सियन व्हील. फर्स्ट पर्सियन व्हील, then second you have to mention a spinning wheel. नहीं, second one you have to make cardet's bow जिसको धुन की बोलते हो. और फिर थर्ड में आप स्पिनिंग व्हील दे देना, फोर्थ में वीवर्स लूम, फिर 5 में सिल्क मेकिंग, 6 में डिस्टिलेशन, 7th में पेपर एंड बुक बाइंडिंग, एंड 8th में आर्क एंड डोम. बस काफी, इतना दे दिया. अब सेकेंड पार्ट क्वेश्चन का क्या है? सेकेंड पार्ट ऑफ क्वेश्चन देखो. सेकेंड पार्ट ऑफ क्वेश्चन आपका है कि हाउ डिड दिस टेक्नोलॉजी चेंज इन्फ्लुएंस द इंडियन सोसाइटी? अब इंडियन सोसाइटी को कैसे इन्फ्लुएंस कर रहा है? तो देखो, इस पर मुख्य रूप से रिसर्च है किसका? तो इरफान हबीब का। बड़ा स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन पूछा है, किसी स्टूडेंट से ऐसा स्टैंडर्ड क्वेश्चन पूछ लिया, बड़ा आश्चर्य की बात है। जैसे इरफान हबीब ने मुख्य रूप से रिसर्च किया है कि हाउ डिड द टेक्नोलॉजी अफेक्टेड सोसाइटी। तो देखो, एक अफेक्टेड सोसाइटी यह है कि इरफान हबीब हैज इन्फॉर्म दैट कि इन फैक्ट अर्लियर द जाट कम्युनिटी इन इंडिया, उनका कहना है कि जाट कम्युनिटी इन इंडिया, सो दिस कम्युनिटी वाज बेसिकली इट वाज एसोसिएटेड विद द cattle breeding or domestication of animals, the occupation like domestication of animals or cattle breeding. But as Persian wheel was introduced by Turks, so even from North India, because you can say in North India there is not much scope for canal irrigation, you know, क्योंकि लैंड फर्टाइल है ना, और कैनाल इरिगेशन का चांस कम है इधर, इस तरह का रिवर्स नहीं जो कैनाल इरिगेशन हम लोग इंट्रोड्यूस कर सके। तो हियर यू नो कि नॉर्थ इंडिया बेसिकली द जाट कम्युनिटी व्हिच वाज एसोसिएटेड विथ domestication of animals or cattle breeding, so they adopted agriculture. So there was transformation of jats from the basically the husbandmen to peasants. So their economic condition improved according to Irfan Habib. Their economic condition improved, so that encouraged their social aspiration as well. So they tried to rise even in social hierarchy. So some Jats adopt Sikhism and some adopted Krishna Bhakti. ये इरफान हबीब का रिसर्च है। उनका कहना है कि पहले जो जाट कम्युनिटी थे वो पशु चारक थे, लेकिन जब अब पर्सियन व्हील का प्रयोग हुआ तो वो बन गए पेजेंट्स, और उन्होंने खेती शुरू कर दी तो दे वर ट्रांसफॉर्म इनटू द कल्टिवेटर्स। तो वो जब पेजेंट्स बने तो उनका इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन इंप्रूव किया, तो उनका जो सोशल आकांक्षा है, एस्पिरेशन है, वो बढ़ गया। तो वो अपने सामाजिक स्तर को ऊंचा उठाने के लिए कुछ सिख पंथ की तरफ चले गए और कुछ कृष्णा भक्ति, मथुरा एंड पंजाब सिखिज्म। तो एक ये है। दूसरा, इरफान हबीब ने सोसाइटी में कहा है कि बेसिकली जैसे आप इरफान हबीब के पिताजी थे मोहम्मद हबीब, तो मोहम्मद हबीब ट्राई टू प्रूव दैट कि in fact the lower caste Hindus enthusiastically adopted new technologies, so there was technological revolution and there was the urban revolution in India. तो मोहम्मद हबीब बहुत कुछ बोल गए थे। इरफान हबीब ने अपने फादर के बात को ही काउंटर बैलेंस या खंडन किया है। मोहम्मद हबीब काउंटर बैलेंस द व्यू ऑफ प्रोफेसर इरफान हबीब काउंटर बैलेंस द व्यू ऑफ हिज फादर मोहम्मद हबीब। उनका कहना है कि नो, टर्क्स केम टू इंडिया विथ न्यू टेक्नोलॉजीज. And it is true कि in Hindu caste system, the social condition of the some people were poor. It is true, but still they were not enthusiastic for adopt the new technologies. फिर भी वो नई तकनीकी को अपनाने का उत्साह नहीं दिखाया, because in fact the Turks were at that time treated as the Malekshas, the outsiders, the others. तो उनको लगता था कि इनसे हम कैसे इतनी आसानी से जुड़े. So initially, even the lower caste Hindus didn't show their enthusiasm for adopting the new technologies. So the sultans of Delhi and their nobles had to maintain a large number of slaves for running the technologies. So all the sultans were giving emphasis over to catching up larger and large number of slaves for running the technologies. So due to the advent of new technologies, according to Professor Irfan Habib, the slavery system was encouraged. ये जो नई तकनीकी है उसके कारण स्लेवरी सिस्टम को भी प्रोत्साहन मिला है. तो टू, एक तो जाट कम्युनिटीज एज द पेजेंट्स एंड देयर सोशल एस्पिरेशन, एंड सेकेंड ग्रोइंग नंबर ऑफ स्लेव्स एंड स्लेवरी सिस्टम वाज इनकरेज्ड. दिस वाज द फैक्ट. अब माय स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम मिस्टर अंकुर मेक मी क्लियर कि आर यू क्लियर और नॉट, or any confusion. Please inform me my students, बिना समझे हुए नहीं जाना है, कोई अस्पष्टता नहीं रहनी है, बिल्कुल क्लियर रहना है.
सर कुछ बच्चे कहें कि कंप्लीट आंसर लिखें.
कंप्लीट? अच्छा एक बात बताओ, उस बच्चे से एक बात पूछ लो कि मैंने जो टेक्नोलॉजी यहां पर दिया है वो तो मैनेज कर लेगा ना. 7-8 टेक्नोलॉजी मैंने कहा है, ये वाला देखो, ये ये जो मैंने कहा है कि यहाँ पर आप पर्सियन व्हील कि यहाँ भी लिख दो। अच्छा रुको, मैं एक काम करता हूँ, तुम लोगों को कहीं डिससेटिस्फैक्शन नहीं होना चाहिए मेरे स्टूडेंट्स। देखो ये हुआ पर्सियन व्हील, ये कार्डियर्स बो, एक एक लाइन तुम लोग लिख देना, इतना तो कर ही सकते हो ना, 250 वर्ड्स के क्वेश्चन है, बहुत लिखना होगा। कार्डियर्स बो है, और फिर यहाँ पर स्पिनिंग व्हील, वन लाइन में आप लोग लिख देना। स्पिनिंग व्हील मतलब इनकरेज द कॉटन गुड्स, यू नो, एंड spinning wheel, then weaver's loom, then silk making in Bengal, then paper and book binding, then here paper and book binding, and then क्या okay, and then paper and book binding, then distillation, then arc and dome. Construction work, massive construction work in one line you have to mention. You have to make these new technologies affected existing society and social relations as well. Existing society and social relations as well. We can give following example. Point first, following example. Point first. New technologies encouraged urbanization leading to growing number of urban population. According to Professor Irfan Habib, कि due to the use of Persian wheel, Jat community moved from the Jat community moved from the status of cattle breeders cattle breeders to peasants, हाँ। अब अगर आप चाहो, इतना तो लिखने में बहुत टाइम लग जाएगा, अगर चाहो तो कहो कि इट इनकरेज देयर इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन इम्प्रूव्ड, देयर इकोनॉमिक कंडीशन इम्प्रूव्ड, it led to the rise of their social aspiration as well. So some members joined Sikhism and some other Krishna Bhakti. Okay, that is the point. Now last. Likewise, according to Professor Irfan Habib, कि as even the lower caste in Hindu community in Hindu community didn't show their enthusiasm lower caste in Hindu communities didn't show their enthusiasm in adopting new technologies. So Turkish ruling class had to maintain, that is the last sentence, Turkish ruling class had to maintain large number of slaves to run the technologies. Thus, slavery system was encouraged. Slavery system was encouraged. अब now concluding line कि in this way technologies affected the contemporary society as well. Technologies influenced contemporary social relations as well. That's all. In this way you have to write the answer. Now, are you clear or not? Mr. Ankur, ask my students, are they comfortable now? My students, please inform me. Please be fast.
Yes.
Okay. Comfortable?
Yes.
My friends, up to society we have finished. Up culture. In the next class, though, we have to start culture. and the first part is religion and philosophy. So we have to deal with the topic Bhaktism and Sufism, which is supposed to be the most important topic in the part 3rd, Bhaktism and Sufism. So Mr. Ankur, you have to send the study material Bhaktism and Sufism on tomorrow itself. Although I will just take your class, involve you in the class on Monday now, but I will send you the study material on Bhaktism and Sufism on tomorrow. So you people have to go through it once, and then I will just I will make you clear in the class itself. So my students, now I am stopping here. Thank you very much. I'll see you on Monday. Good night.